Hi everyone, Jim Pagams. This is my movie review for Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw this film again just the day before it came out, July 26th, around that area. I've seen this film again probably another 5 times, just to be fair. Shout out to my friend John Gauthier, who came with me here to watch this. Deadpool Wolverine, a much anticipated film, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. So, in the first Deadpool and the second Deadpool film, there was a lot of talking and showing of Wolverine in the film. So, there was a lot of anticipation for this film coming out. The trailer came out during the Super Bowl in February, and I think it broke records for the most watched trailer. I also found it very intriguing. There was a lot to reveal in that trailer. So when I watched the film, again, I'm more of a Wolverine fan than I'm a Deadpool fan, I'll be honest. But I've watched both Deadpool films again with more of an eagle eye this time. I'm a big fan of Shawn Levy. I think he's done some amazing films, and I'm glad that I did this project here. So the biggest thing is what is this film going to be all about? And I'll tell you what I gave it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought about it hard. It probably could have been a 9, but we'll say 8.5 to 9. Now, why I gave this? There's a lot of things I watch in films, and this specific film, I look at it in 3 parts. And you want to see the beginning, the middle, and the end. Just break down everything. And most films, you want it to kind of grow and anticipate to get somewhere. So, in the first act, obviously, Deadpool, finds a Wolverine, an anchor Wolverine, we'll call him. And because the TVA wants to, change the timeline. But that isn't exactly the way Deadpool wants it. So then they get engaged. And there's a couple of great fight scenes between Deadpool and Wolverine, which I think are amazing. But the one scene I think is the monologue scene that Wolverine gives in the car in the middle of the film. You can watch it on TikTok, YouTube. It is a fantastic 2 minutes that I think it's just amazing. But again, the film is growing. And when they get into the void and they reveal certain characters in the void, it really creates an area where if you watch the Loki films, you kind of see where they're coming from. But that middle part of the film really is just getting things started. And I think that some of the amazing people that come back, from Elektra to Blade to Gambit, were absolutely amazing. One thing I did give it a notch down. One reason I gave it a -1 is I thought there were going to be more cameos, and I was a little disappointed. There probably could have been a few more. There was rumors Ghost Rider was going to be there and a few others. So I think it would have added a little more punch, even though the beginning had Cavalry there in the beginning. But again, there's a couple of Canadian shout-outs there near when they're in the void. If you look carefully, you'll see the CN Tower there leaning. You also see when this spin thing comes out like a magnet and grabs Wolverine and Deadpool. It says Canada, featuring the Canada arm from the space shuttle. So there is some Canadian content in there. If you really, really pay attention, he's really paying homage to Canada in the film. So, as the film goes on, the rivalry there with Cassandra Casanova there is very interesting. And that's one part of the film that they spent a lot of time on, and I think it really brought more of the core of who she was and what her background is, and featuring her again near the end. So one of the funny things is this dog, the ugliest dog. Man, this dog had 3 scenes, man. That trainer was probably a rich woman there. I found that was really cute. It brought a little light. One piece of information here that you may not know, the F word was mentioned 119 times in the film. I was like counted 30, and I don't know where the other 70 were. But one of the other things that gave this film such a big number, 8.5 and 9 out of 10, was that it was building. And I felt the second and the third act were just unbelievable. There was like so much happening in the second and third act that, just watching it again to see what you missed. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. You can go online, watch New Rock Stars or Canadian Lad. Shout out to both those guys. They're doing an amazing job with Easter eggs. I watch them all the time. But there's so many Easter eggs, and at the end of the day, that's a whole 10 minutes. But this third act was one of the most spectacular third acts. I mean, there was Infinity War and an Endgame, and Endgame had an amazing third act. There's no doubt. The Russo brothers were majesty. But Sharon Levy and Deadpool and Paul Resnick and the other producers on this film, the scriptwriters, I think they really, really out a punch. And from what I heard, it could have been more. But obviously in the trailers, there's a lot said about the different types of Deadpools. So obviously it's a family affair. There was Blake Lively. There was their 2 kids are in the film. So there was a lot of that. But there was a lot of friends of Deadpool that are also in the film. You can watch the end credits online. There was a lot of stars there. Nathan Fillion and Keanu Reeves and Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was a whole bunch of people there in that last scene. So at the end of the day, we get to the third act, and everything's coming together. But I still think that Wolverine, even though they fought twice and they kind of manufactured, still didn't like, Wade Winston Wilson. 3 W's, WWW. Now, here's a little tip that is true. So, Stan Lee had so many characters, 1,700 Marvel characters. In the beginning, it was very hard. So, if you really pay attention, here it is. You'll see Peter Parker, Susan Storm, Reed Richards. There's a whole lot of first name, last name, Bruce Banner. There's a lot of first letters, same letters, the first name, last name. The reason is they had to make it easy. I know you may not know this, but it's a true fact. I've seen it, I read it, and heard it from Stan Lee himself. So that's a little thing you'll see. So this movie's full of those. I'm actually reading another book right now, a Spider-Man life story, and Octavius is in it, and a whole bunch of other characters. So a little deep dive into that. So the third act, wow. You see all the Deadpools come out, and then, Nice Pool gets sacrificed, and he explodes, and that was totally hilarious. And then the scene. And there's 2 powerful scenes in this film, and I don't know which one I liked more. The scene where Wolverine puts his mask on, or when he explodes there, when he's in the machine there. I just think they packed a lot in that last scene. It was just, again, so much happening, tying sort of story together. But when it came out, and he put that mask on, I was like, finally, 24 years it took. How much longer, ladies and gentlemen, is it going to take? And it doesn't disappoint. They just went full out. There was body parts flying everywhere. If you really look carefully, the bus, the Stanley steam whistle, it's called, and the number is the year he was born. So again, lots of Easter eggs. I'm just revealing a few of them for you. I'm kind of enjoying this 10 minutes here a little bit. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I want to wait at least almost a month before the movie came out. So the final scene, Deadpool's going in there to reverse what's happening upstairs, and then Wolverine bursts through and grabs his right arm, and then he turns his head and he flexes, and his claws come out, and the Madonna song comes out. Enough said. Unbelievable. I'm glad he got permission from Madonna for this film. Music, it was unbelievable. It hit the mark right there and then, and I think just the whole film was cinematic mastery. There's they could have added a little more, but I gave this, I would say, close to a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend it. Watch it again. There's lots of Easter eggs in this movie, lots. But I hope there's rumors they're going to come with another one, and I hope they do. I think there's a lot they can do in this film. So, Jim Punkiamsis, I hope you have a marvelous time watching this, listening to this, and please subscribe and follow me. Thank you. Thank you for watching my reviews. Take care. Have a marvelous day. Next.